know it. I hear you're no friend to the worm cult. I have a plan to kick them in the metaphorical nethers. But my superiors think it's too risky. Care to prove them wrong? I found a cache of auricular geodes. We can use them to spy on the worm cult's plans. But you see, the geodes are dormant. Proximity to a dying Zivkin should empower them. But my superiors refuse to test the theory. Exactly. Take these. Each Zivkin you slay will empower a geode. Once empowered, attach the geodes to undead laborers. The perfect spies. The worm cult will never expect their skeletons to betray them. Once you've placed the auricular geodes, meet me at the base. Of course. The geodes are attuned to Cold Harbor. When the Zivkin expire, they emit I'll call it a soul flare, though I'm certain that's not the name. Regardless, it will charge the geodes. Curious little things, eh? Something the Arcane University devised before all of this madness. Whatever their original purpose, I know I can use them to spy on the worm cult. That Zivkin must die to empower them is a delightful side effect. The geodes are attuned to Cold Harbor. When the Zivkin expire, they emit
I've been watching them turn over graves. The worm cult, I mean. It's an ugly business, isn't it? I used to come here to clear my head. It was quiet, peaceful. Now it's full of these idiots. Shame. They're raising the dead. Most are being outfitted as soldiers, but something's off. I've been watching one group in particular. Branded skeletons digging in random locations. They're clearly looking for something. I just don't know what. Necromancers often brand skeletons to bind them to a specific task. In this case, digging. If you can steal a Daedric brand and a chapel key from one of these cultists, we might be able to discover what Molag Bal and his skeletons are digging for. Any one of these cultists could be carrying the Daedric brand or a key to the chapel, so happy hunting? I have to track down a lead of my own. Once you've branded a skeleton and heard what it has to say, meet me in the Undertaker's office. I'm not sure what you mean. They're reanimated dead people. I actually quite like skeletons. It's a shame they're so repulsive and dangerous. I'm sure that sounds bad. Please remember, I am not a crazy person. They never lie. Spycraft is all about observation, scraping away lies to find the truth. I'm very good at it, but it makes my head hurt. Skeletons are what they are, and that's it. It's refreshing. That doesn't make them any less dangerous, though. It's quiet, and full of skeletons. You shouldn't be disturbed there. The worm cultists were storing bones there for a while, but now they tend to avoid it. Locked it up tight. It's not all that surprising. It still smells of incense. It feels holy. Well, I also hanged a few of their leaders in there, right over the altar. That made an impression. Why are you making a face? Oh, sacrilege. Right. The Eight will understand. After all, it helped keep the cultists out. Ends and means. Simple. Ever handled a cattle brand? Same principle. There's a hot end, press it onto a skull. Should be a simple matter of waiting for the skeleton to assemble and make its confession. Don't worry if the skeleton falls apart. These things take practice. Right. The brand binds the skeleton to a single, very specific task. Once you've set the mark, the skeleton should recite the details of the task aloud. That will tell us everything we need to know about what they're looking for. Yes, and also no. It should be like an echo of the caster's will or something. Honestly, I don't know all the details. I don't make a practice of casting spells on dead people. I just read a lot.
seek the Dragonfire Cathedral with pick and spade. Smother, choke, and quench the light. By Molag Bal's will, obey.
Tell me more about this map, or things will go very poorly for you. Are you listening? Hello? Oh, you're dead. Typical. You made it. Excellent. I'm sorry about the mess, but this cultist was not very forthcoming. All I got was this map. What did you find? Dragonfire Cathedral? Are you sure you heard that correctly? Skeletons aren't all that articulate. That must have been disconcerting. It's a legend, folktale, like Arkay's magic breaches. According to the story, Alessia received a vision from Akatosh in one of the old Ayleid shrines beneath the city. Her followers tore it down and built a cathedral there. The cathedral is supposed to be the resting place of Akatosh's second gift to Alessia, a powerful relic. What the relic actually does, I have no idea. Molag Bal must be after this relic. That's why he's looking for the cathedral. The map I took from this idiot points to the crematorium. I'll bet that's where Molag Bal's skeletons are digging now. Honestly, I'm not convinced that the Dragonfire Cathedral is real, but we can't take the risk. We have to stop them. We demolished the dig site. Worm cultists have been using concentrated kindle pitch to clear rubble. The Zivkin Soulbranders have been distributing it since they arrived. If you can acquire some, we can use it to destroy their operation. Once I've finished disposing of this body, I'll make for the crematorium. It's probably full of cultists. I'll try to thin the herd before you arrive. By that, I mean I'm going to kill them all, in case that wasn't clear. None that he was keen to share. He did a lot of begging, sentiment. I learned a lot about his mother, for instance. I don't know why people always talk about their mothers. It's probably my fault. I've never been a very good interrogator. It's a mess in here, I know. But it was the best I could do on short notice. Set the kindle pitch before more of these cultists arrive. Well done. That's sure to draw some attention. Meet me back at your Alliance base once the coast is clear. You look awful. I'm sorry, that sounded bad. You look unkempt? To be honest, neither of us should have been standing that close to an explosion. My ears are still ringing. So, Molag Bal's dig is completely destroyed, yes? Excellent. This will buy us some time. If the Dragonfire Cathedral actually exists, we need to make sure it doesn't fall into Molag Bal's hands, right? Yes. Take this for your trouble and stay in touch. There's more to Molag Bal's plan, I know it.
You're back. I had faith in your abilities, unlike my superiors. They were ready to either take credit for my idea or disavow your death. I take it you placed the geodes? Excellent. Let's see what the Worm Cult is planning.
The fools will never expect us to tunnel beneath them. Dig faster, you undead cretin!
Good work. In time, we shall know all the Worm Cult's plans. We'll hit them where it hurts.
Over here. I need help.
Open for business.
Come on, Regulus, you're being stupid. Hey, you here to cause trouble too? They're industrious, I'll give them that. Take a look at all those siege engines. Even took the time to chisel old Bony Ball's face onto them. Pity we've got to burn them down. You are gonna help me burn them down, right? The ballisti. We've got to cull the herd a bit, or there won't be a city left to save, yeah? I know, they look all dark and spooky, but they burn well enough. Trust me. Put a few to the torch. That'll put a bee up Legion Zero's britches. Nah, we can do better. These louds have a stockpile of tar tucked away near the thoroughfare crossing. At least I think it's tar. Lots of foul black liquids around here. Pour it into that huge forge in the west quarter. That'll really turn heads. Well, what are you still doing up here? Those ballisti aren't gonna burn themselves. Served with the engineering auxiliary in the 4th Legion. It was fun for a while. Gotta operate the trebuchets, blow things up and such. But then there was all the drilling and waking up early. Wasn't for me. Well, that's an ugly word for it, but yeah. Worked out though, right? If I had stuck around, I might have wound up all glowy-eyed and evil. The moral is, don't ever let anyone tell you that quitting won't get you anywhere. And miss out on all this? I'm kidding, of course. This place is the worst. But I can't just leave. The Imperial City is my home. No way am I going out into the provinces to milk goats and shave chickens or whatever it is you do out there. You haven't seen any legionaries that seem out of place, have you? He'd be shorter than I am, lean, with very little hair. My contact in Legion Zero, Captain Regulus, is missing. He's sharp, tenacious. A good man, I guess. Anyway, I haven't heard from him in weeks. He drank that Cold Harbor brew to maintain his cover. I'm afraid it may have gotten the better of him. We use a system. When I want to meet, I draw the seal of the Dragon Guard on a wall near the thoroughfare crossing. That's the signal to meet in the sewer hideout. I'll mark it on your map. I'm not convinced he'll show, but he's valuable. If you see him, please tell him how angry I am. Or maybe disappointed is better. Just whatever. You know what I mean. Use your imagination. I'm difficult. He could simply be avoiding me. No, of course not. He's a consummate professional. He wouldn't let something like that interfere with his duty. He's always taken my peculiarities in stride. It's weird. I have 2 theories. 1, he has been captured, or 2, he's determined that a meet is too dangerous. I have a hard time believing that he's been killed or captured. He's far too clever for that. His work is clean. Cleaner than mine. The corruption. Members of Legion Zero are forced to drink a foul potion. It's an initiation of sorts. It makes them aggressive, erratic. He probably doesn't want to endanger me, my mission, I mean. He might be less concerned about hurting you.
I'll meet you at the hideout. Don't dally. Breathe. Just need to breathe. Fight it, man. Fight it. Keep your distance. I'm sorry. I don't know how much longer I'll have control. Nice to meet you, too. Do you always lead with indelicate questions? I tend to introduce myself first impressions and all that. Sorry. It's been a long week. I'm Captain Regulus. I'm assuming you're working with the Draco Blades? I figured. I'd have met with her before, but it's getting too dangerous. I can feel myself succumbing to Molag Bal's corruption. I thought I had it under control, but... Listen, the Daedra have found a key. An ancient door, deep beneath the city. I've heard the leadership talking about it. Nothing solid. Just whispers about a relic locked up tight. I'm tempted to simply steal this key, but... I think we'll have better luck if we make a switch. I made a key mold. It was a risky play, but I was running out of ideas. If you can make a false key and switch it out with the real one, it should keep the Daedra off your back for a while. Give you a chance to learn more about this relic. Yes. I'll give you the mold. If you can get your hands on some scrap metal from these soldiers, you should be able to cast the key in the Western Forge. Once it's made, we swap it with the genuine article and no one is the wiser. Although, if it's fresh from the mold, it won't look as worn as the actual key. After you cast it, bring the fake key over to the laboratory on the northwest side of the district. You can give it a good acid bath there. Some pits and scars will sell it. When you've got the key ready for the switch, meet me at the groundskeeper's storehouse. We'll go over the rest of the details there. You'd better get moving. The more time you take, the more time there is for things to go wrong. Right. That. I had to drink the blood of Cold Harbor to maintain my cover in Legion Zero. Tasted like a dead man's breath over ice. I wouldn't recommend it. It changes you. Not just in body, but in mind. Antidotes, potions, herbal remedies, anything I can scrounge up. It's not pleasant. If the corruption doesn't kill me, these remedies will. That only gets me so far, though. It's really about willpower. And even that has limits. Stubbornness, mostly. I can still be useful. Plus, I don't want to give them the satisfaction of turning me. They'll find me out eventually, of course. When they do, I'll have my dagger ready. First for the one who outs me, and then for myself. There you are. I was beginning to think you'd been caught. Are you mad? How do you think I'm sorry. I'm keeping together. Don't worry about it. Did you make the false key? They've locked the key away in the old counting house. A Zivkin named Zolgar the Brutal keeps watch over it. I'll unlock the door and distract him while you slip in and make the switch. When it's done, meet me back in the sewer hideout.
What is the meaning of this interruption, wretch? My watch is more important than your inane reports.
Apologies, Exalted One. This report is urgent. I have reason to suspect that there may be a spy in the ranks of Legion Zero, one who plots the downfall of the Legion and its masters.
A spy? I am charged with the protection of a great prize. I have no interest in petty mortal schemes, you half-witted cretin.
As you say, Exalted One. I merely thought it would be to your benefit to learn of this first. If you prefer, I can take the news to one of my other masters, though it would pain me to see them take the glory in your stead.
Glory, you say? My lord Molag Bal does have a special distaste for traitors. Hold a moment, Captain. Perhaps I can spare time for this so-called plot. Tell me about this spy. I will see you duly rewarded for your loyalty.
I dare not say it out loud, my lord. Ears are everywhere, you know. Anyone could be listening.
Whisper it to me, then. Who is this spy? They must be made to suffer.
The spy's name is Captain Regulus! Any problems with the switch? I hope not. I can't quite pull that off twice. I'd say I don't know what came over me, but I do. It's the corruption taking hold. I killed him. But at least it was behind closed doors. This will work to our advantage. There will be infighting as they try to figure out who murdered Zolgar. Bring the key and this report to the Drake. It's everything I have written down on what we accomplished. As for me, I'm too much of a risk now. I'm losing control of myself, and I can't be allowed to tell them what we did. You and I both know what needs to be done. Thank you for helping me complete one last mission. Oh, and when you see the Drake, tell her... Never mind. Just look after her, all right?
see.
The Daedra opened a portal at Moonhenge, and some hero collapsed it single-handedly.
Well, this place is homey if, you know, you're a half-starved skeever. You finished causing a ruckus up in the districts? I knew you could do it! Oh, I wish I could see the look on their smug, glowy-eyed faces. Priceless! I'm gonna go gather some supplies. Should be headed back out there in a day or so. If you're looking to cause a little more havoc, meet me there. Didn't think I'd miss the smell of ash and burning pitch, but yeah, smells like an Ogrim's loincloth down here. And miss out on all this? I'm kidding, of course. This place is the worst. But I can't just leave. The Imperial City is my home. No way am I going out into the provinces to milk goats and shave chickens or whatever it is you do out there. You made it back. Excellent. Did you find Regulus? What did he have to say? A key. May I? Well, it's certainly old. Seems like Regulus has some theories. Gods, his penmanship is atrocious. Luckily, some of the iconography seems intact. Between that and Regulus's notes, we should be able to deduce its origin. Something with a lock on it. I'd say a door based on the size. Perhaps a very large box. I can guess more if you'd like. Sorry. There's something about a relic in his report. Wait, did you say his final report? What happened to him? Oh. Yes, of course I am. Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! He was dead as soon as he drank that poison. We both knew that. I just thought he was going to hold on a bit longer. It's a shame, that's all. So, yes, I'll hold on to the key for now. I suspect we'll need it sooner rather than later. Thank you for recovering it, and for finding Regulus. I'm glad someone was there, at the end.